The good-looking guy has all the confidence, right? Like George Clooney's a good-looking guy. Had a great career. And then he made a movie, Gravity, and it was great. And then after that, he made like 4 bombs. And Mr. Confidence, about a year ago, said, I don't need Hollywood. I sold a tequila company. I make a bunch of money. I don't need Hollywood. Oh, the calls stopped coming for George Clooney. Hollywood forgets you very quickly. The best-looking guy, Mr. Model guy, Mr. Famous guy, Mr. Cool Friends guy. Very fine actor. I like his movies, some of them. But the line between confidence and insecurity, my friends, is very, very thin. Jimmy Garoppolo should be confident. I mean, it's like Tom Brady was frightened of him. Got to a Super Bowl. I mean, look at the guy. If I look like Jimmy Garoppolo, I would take selfies all day. I take 400 selfies a day. And yet, did you watch him last night? He's lost confidence. Jimmy Garoppolo has no confidence. What are the 3 things for a quarterback that crush confidence? Number 1 is injuries. You don't want to get hit. He's had those. Number 2, your coach loses confidence in you. We saw that in his last playoff run. Took the ball out of Jimmy's hand. Number 3, they draft your replacement. Jimmy Garoppolo had a quarterback rating of 16 last night. That's against backups. That is in a game in which nobody now plays starters in the NFL preseason. It's embarrassing. Like, nobody's playing backups. Easton Stick is a 5th-round quarterback, number 3 quarterback for the Chargers. I watched that game last night. Easton Stick was better than Jimmy Garoppolo. Better than Jimmy Garoppolo. He played with more confidence. He moved better. He was more accurate. Jimmy, remember, the young quarterbacks who've never played in the NFL are crushing it in this preseason. And those young quarterbacks don't have Kyle Shanahan. They don't have this offensive line. They don't have this culture. They don't have this roster. Jimmy's been in this system now multiple years. Jimmy Garoppolo has lost his fastball. And I like Garoppolo. I'm a much bigger fan of Garoppolo than 99% of you. But I'm watching that game last night, and injuries, coach lost confidence, drafted a quarterback. He does not look the same. I mean, I've been saying this. It's very hard to evaluate these rookie quarterbacks. Zach Wilson's tearing it up. You notice what hasn't moved with Zach Wilson? They're still a 4-point underdog in the opener to Carolina, and the over-under for the Jets is 6.5. Vegas ain't buying it. But, you know, the reality is between all these injuries and Trey Lance, and by the way, Trey Lance is not ready to play. He's very talented, but the kid has taken no snaps. He had a couple of nice drives at the end of that game last night. That's against 4-stringers. That's against people that will not make the NFL. So don't take anything from that. So San Francisco, a team I really like, and in the NFC West, has a dilemma. Garoppolo's lost some confidence. Trey's not ready to play. And I said this, remember a couple years ago, Carson Wentz. He was up for MVP of the league. Much like Clooney and Garoppolo. He checked 2 boxes. He got hurt, and they drafted a quarterback in the 2nd round. And he lost his fastball. Carson Wentz lost his fastball. There's the old joke Howie Long once said, you can't have 2 great quarterbacks in the same room at the same time. One sucks all the oxygen out of it. They need attention. They're the guy. It's the only football position doesn't have competition, right? A team will draft 3 receivers in one draft. Nick Saban every year brings in 6 new running backs and wide receivers to Alabama. That's part of the culture of football. You got to battle for your job, not quarterback. The way quarterback works, even at college, if you recruit 2 5-star quarterbacks, one leaves within a year. It's my team. I get all the snaps. So the Garoppolo, I think the game's in his head right now. I don't know if it's solvable. It wasn't for Carson Wentz until he left to Indianapolis. By the way, he is back to practice and reportedly looks great. Why? Why would Carson Wentz now look great? Hasn't played a game. He's got his coach back. He's got an offensive line back. He has a team that's thrown a ton of money at him. The guys on the roster behind Carson Wentz are absolutely late-round backups. There's no threat. There's no rush. Suddenly, Carson Wentz, same size, same arms. Suddenly, they say Carson Wentz looks great. Thin line between confidence and insecurity. Leading men and leading quarterbacks. And Carson Wentz this morning, Jimmy Garoppolo this morning with Trey Lance ready to take his job, doesn't look good. All right, let's shift gears. The Dallas Cowboys are not only an offensive team, they're a shootout team. Yeah, in 2019, the last year Dak started every game, the Cowboys were 8-0 when they scored over 25 points. And they were 0-8 when they scored under 25 points. That's what Dallas is, and their defense hasn't gotten better. I know they have a new coordinator. I know they drafted a bunch of guys. Rookies are not going to make a difference in the NFL, especially the ones they drafted, other than Micah Parsons, who's really good. So this team needs its quarterback. So Adam Schefter is now the fourth source on this. Troy Aikman, Michael Irvin, Gil Brandt, Adam Schefter. Dak Prescott could be bothered by injuries for the entire season. So I got Aikman, Irvin, Adam Schefter, Gil Brandt, all well connected, all come to the same conclusion. Dak's shoulder's not right. This is a baseball injury, right? The Cowboys got a hold of the Texas Rangers and the Yankees. They went to baseball teams. If a baseball pitcher had this injury, you put him on the shelf. He doesn't play. So there was video this weekend of Dak Prescott before the game against Atlanta, throwing the ball around. He threw 52 passes. Okay, 52 passes. Not one of them was a seam route. Not one of them was a post pattern. Not one of them was a deep ball. 10, 15 yards. 52 passes. No deep balls. Is it something? Dallas also does not have a legitimate backup quarterback. I think Jerry Jones, a man who's pretty good at investing, would love to protect his investments. But if they get on the phone with Nick Foles and make a trade, the world will implode. It'll be just massive distraction. And that's, as Jerry knows, with Zeke a couple years ago, it's not good for football. They've already got hard knocks. You don't want to throw in a Nick Foles backup quarterback situation. So Dallas has only been able to win in the last 3 years. I could say longer, but they've only really been able to win one way: score 30 points. That has been it. That's the way Dallas wins. So this is, in 2021, a highly dependent quarterback team. Now, I hear this all the time. Everybody's quarterback dependent. No, they're not. The New Orleans Saints in the last 2 years have gone 8-1 without Drew Brees. How? Great coach, great O-line, very good defense, excellent GM. They can run the football. They had no deep threat. Drew Brees and no deep threat. He leaves, they're 8-1. With Teddy Bridgewater, with Taysom Hill, Jameis Winston can come into 8-1. That's not a quarterback-dependent team. That's why it was time for Drew Brees to go. Like, they didn't need a quarterback to win. I mean, New England last year had no real backup, had Cam Newton with no preseason. He got COVID. They had 8 guys opt out. They were a game from 500. You've watched New England play this year. They're preseason. They're not quarterback-dependent. Miami last year won 10 games and was not overly productive at quarterback. I mean, in a perfect world, you would have the ability to win without a great quarterback, but just happen to have one. I think Kansas City's close to that. I think, Seattle with Russell Wilson. Like, they were good enough defensively to get to the playoffs. Russell got him a Super Bowl, almost 2. But we know this Cowboy team has one way to win. This is the one way to win. And it's very Dak dependent. No, by the way, he's coming off a very serious leg injury as well. So when I get Aikman and Irvin and Gil Brandt and Adam Schefter all saying the same thing, I'm going to trust them. They've been around that franchise forever. I'm going to trust them. 52 passes, not one deep ball. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.